What time is it? Fight!
Welcome to the MMA Podcast.
Check this out.
Get on the latest news, interviews, and stars of the MMA world. Hosted by yours, John Boy McElroy. So tune in, everyone, right here to the MMA Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Martial Arts Chat Podcast, and thank you for rejoining us in 2016. 2015 was a fun beginning for us, and we're excited for this year and what it will bring. Our show today is looking ahead to the Ontop Promotions fight card this Saturday at the Onyx Sports Centre in Linwood, and joining us today will be the main event for that card, and later we'll be speaking to James Lake of Ontop himself, getting us all excited for Saturday. So first up is over to Higher Level Martial Arts, and to speak to their very own ninja Craig Mop McIntosh, and we speak turning professional, looking ahead to Saturday and the origins of Mop. Thanks very much for joining us here on the Martial Arts Chat Podcast.
How we doing, mate? Right?
Champions. So Craig, a lot of reshuffling on this card, and yourself and your opponent, you guys have been moved to the main event, and you'll no doubt be pleased and excited about that ton of events. But first, and I guess the most obvious question, sir, how's training been with weight cutting in preparation for your fifth professional fight?
Aye, training's been excellent actually. It's been a really good camp. I've obviously known about the fight for a while, so I got to start quite far out. I started about roughly about 11, 12 weeks out. To be honest, I never stopped like that. That last fight I had on top, I'd been wanting to start strength and conditioning for a while, so I started that literally like the Wednesday after my last fight. So I kind of just went straight to another training camp and got no injuries or anything. So that's ideal, really.
Doing it back to back, yeah. Sometimes that's the best way for it. And to your fight, a week today it is now. No real animosity really between yourself and Chris Bungard. You guys seem to know each other already. Is that right?
Yeah. Like I've known Chris for we've always kind of fought on a lot of the same shows. We kind of started training about the same time, started fighting around about the same time, and obviously spoke to each other, over the years. So I've always gotten pretty well with him. And
we've seen, like you sort of said there, your submission game that provided you in your success in your previous contest against Bill Hadj and obviously Carl Longden. Is that how you see this fight going down against the bad guy? Maybe a contest of grappling, or what's your expectations come Saturday?
To be honest, like I don't really try and force the fight anywhere. Like I feel. The reason I've submitted most people is because they've took me down, or that's generally what's happened. But I always try to stand with people, but they don't really usually want to stand for very long. So I just go out and see where it hands. I try to finish the fight wherever the fight is, and that's pretty much it.
Awesome stuff, yeah. It's certainly set for a cracking main card. And as we alluded to at the top of the show, that it's seen a lot of chopping and changing. But is that something that's affected you, Craig? Has that affected your training camp, the fact that they've sort of reshuffled and moved things about?
Nah, it doesn't affect me at all. Like, I would rather be on first. I'd date today, I'd date tomorrow. It doesn't matter to me who's there, what order I'm fighting in, but I'd rather fight sooner than later. So, like, being in the main event just means you've kind of got to wait about for the full day. Yeah. Like, I think third, to be on third's probably second or third's the best. Then you can just get warmed up.
That's it.
And then go and that's it. But it doesn't make a difference. Being on last, not a problem either.
Probably so long as you're fighting it, you're probably glad that it's finally here after your 12-week journey, no doubt. How are you finding that journey? You turned pro in 2014.
Aye, it's good. Like, to be honest, I expected to be undefeated, and I've obviously learnt a few wee lessons with stuff. I think maybe weight cutting would have been the biggest problem. I was maybe cutting too much weight before, to be honest, and focusing more on the weight cut than other stuff. But I'm constantly busy. I train pretty much. I'd say I've pretty much got almost every minute of my day accounted for, and almost every day. Like Saturday's really my only rest day, but pretty much every other minute of every other day is accounted for between work and training. So that's just pretty much my life. But I love it, and I wouldn't having to do it.
Absolutely. Living the dream, I think they call it that, don't they? And is that going to be a focal point for you going forward? Concentrate more on strength and conditioning and the proper techniques for weight cutting, that kind of thing.
Aye, well, I mean, it wasn't so much the proper techniques that were going wrong. Like, I've always had the proper techniques. It's just that I was doing far too much. Like, I was cutting say sort of 83, 84 down to 66. It's just it's not good for your body. Like,
stretch,
it starts to become like you're eating very strict for like sort of 10 to 8 to 10 weeks out.
Yes.
And when I say strict, I mean very plain, like just like chicken and spinach, and you know what I mean. You're not getting anything at all. Whereas this, the stuff I'm doing now, it's like just we're going up to lightweight, and I was a wee bit worried with the strength and conditioning had got bigger, but it's actually made me leaner and stronger. So it's also helped with the weight cut. So the weight cut at 70 is just perfect. Like it's ideal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's an ideal target for you, Mop. Well, let's get that out of the way. Mop, where does that nickname come from? Is it simply from the hairstyle, though? I hear that's gone now, or is there something more to it?
No, it's just basically all it is when I was went up to academy. But my big brother's had a nickname called Mop because he had hair like a mop. So when I went to academy, I hung about with a lot of the older guys and stuff. They all called me Wee Mop, and then when I was like 15, I'd got it tattooed in my belly, so it kind of stuck. And I wasn't really getting rid of it after that, so I've just kind of embraced it,
That's Sideshow Bob. He'd be proud as well, wouldn't he? Craig, thanks very much for giving us your time today ahead of your fight on Saturday. Just a couple more questions, and then I'll let you go, sir.
That's cool. I'm in no rush, man.
We mentioned there was there's decent good vibes between yourself and Bungard for this fight, but do you have a message for him or anyone watching or listening come Saturday?
I just try and do the same with everybody. I come to finish. That's it. That's all I ever try to do. I just go out and have fun and try and finish people.
Good man. Well, Craig, a big thank you again for giving us your time. If people want to get in touch or follow Mop or the Ninjas, a higher level on social media, that kind of thing, how are they best to do that? Is it Facebook? Is it Twitter? Where are we hitting you up at?
So Craig Mop McIntosh on Facebook, but I only really accept people, one, if they're a fan of MMA or if I actually know them. That's the only two reasons I'll accept. I don't accept randoms, but Instagram, I can get followed on Instagram. You can check all that stuff out. That's Craig Mop McIntosh. Twitter's EMOHPEE. But that's probably the best ways. And if I just give a shout out to my team at higher level, like for helping me through this fight camp and help me with everything really, and my coach James Doolan for obviously helping improve my game constantly. I've obviously my sponsors, I've got quite a few sponsors that have been helping me out. But in this particular camp, a guy, Trev Berry, just came on board to help me out, and he's helped me. He's at the CrossFit Fourth Valley Gym in Stirling. He's been helping me with my strength and conditioning as well, so that's been really good.
Excellent. Craig, thanks very much for giving us the time. A pleasure to have you on, sir, and good luck for your fight on Saturday.
No worries, thanks very much.
Chris, it's a pleasure to have you on here on the Martial Arts Chat podcast, sir.
Pleasure is all mine, my man.
First, the most obvious question for you, mate. How's training been, and how are you feeling in your lead up to your 7th professional mixed martial arts fight?
It's not going to lie, it's been a tough 7-8 weeks this camp, but I put the hours in. A few wee niggles here and there, but it's nothing I'm not used to. I think I'd feel quite weird going into a fight 100%. Because I've never been 100% since the day I started this crazy sport. But I'm feeling fit and I'm feeling ready to go in and perform.
It's good to hear. And you were training over the holidays as well. I mean, I imagine that comes with a wee bit of extra work, keeping away from festivities and your chocolate, that's your kind of thing. Is that something you're used to by now, I guess, or is it still tough as always?
No, it's still tough. The 8 weeks for fight camp, stay off my fatty foods and my chocolate, but to stay in, I didn't. To stay on my birthday, then Christmas, then New Year. Yeah, some of it was hard, but these are the sacrifices you need to make if you want to get to the level that you really want to be at. Choices you need to make.
Absolutely. Well, before we get to your fight with Craig McIntosh this Saturday, I'd like to just, if we can, cast our minds back to last year. Going into 2015, you were undefeated as a professional, and you took your first loss. That was a decision against Kieran Malone, and you bounced back with a quick finish over Nathan Levery in September. So a two-part question, sir. Firstly, your thoughts on your first loss against Malone and how you sort of dealt with that situation, and secondly, where was your thinking and your frame of mind going into your fight against Nathan?
The fight Kieran fought a good fight, came a control me in the ground. I rushed in twice at the start of each round. First and second round, he reversed me and he stayed on top. So, well done to Kieran for that. Like, I'm not got to say just really and done nothing, but that's a way you win fights. My favourite fighter of all time, probably. Done that throughout his career and I loved it. So I'm not going to sit and slate Kieran for his style of fighting, but it's just not the way I would fight.
Sure.
I'd like to finish. I would like to finish fights, but Kieran's had like 20 pro MMA fights, and that was my fifth or something. So
yep.
I'm still learning my trade, and I'll take that and I'll learn for that defeat, and hopefully down the line and hopefully get that win back. As for the Nathan Lavery fight, he was like a last day replacement again, the same as my other one. So I didn't really know much about him. I was like, he's a pretty good jiu-jitsu guy, purple belt. So to get him swapped last minute, I was just happy that I got a fight because I'd sold a lot of tickets and I'd trained hard. So
yes,
it wasn't really up to much, to be honest. He was just a last minute replacement, but I still need to go in there, put my weight in, move on to the next one.
That's it, and you certainly got the job done. Well, let's get to Mop then, Saturday. We had a chance to speak to Craig recently, and he was certainly respectful for you and your skills, and looking forward to the contest as well. And I gather you guys you're familiar with each other, right? So you sort of came through at the same time and turned pro around about the same time as well. Is that right?
Yeah, I've known Craig since I started this sport. I've seen every single one of his fights. He's actually fought my teammate Kevin Devine 3 times at amateur.
Yep.
So that's just, we kind of knew each other. So, I've spent hours at fight shows talking to Craig, and we used to text each other. So I know everything about Craig. He's a great guy. He's one of the nicest guys in Scottish MMA.
And what's your thoughts on the high level ninja? How do you see this fight going down?
It's got to be a great fight. It's the main event for a reason. There's got to be punches, kicking, knees, elbows, good scrambles, submission attempts. There's only got to be one winner, and you're talking to him.
We're certainly excited for it, and we're looking forward to this Saturday. It's going to be a cracking main event, and we'll get to see the bad guy. Any WWE style attire this time? I know back in September we saw you pay tribute to the late great Roddy Piper. Is there anything, in terms of pro wrestling, or is it all top secret? And you can give us what we might be looking forward to?
Got some new bad guy t-shirts, my own logo for my fans and for me and my corner team. So no WWE t-shirts this time, or in that. Just all business on the night.
Well, Chris, once again, a pleasure to have you on, sir. Just a few more questions, and then I'll let you go. We've spoken about your 5-1. You're looking to make it 6 come Saturday. After Ontop Promotion's fight card this weekend, where do you see yourself going from here? I know recently there was a poll online which named you, amongst others, as sort of top Scottish prospects, but potentially UFC could sign. When you hear things like that, how does it make you feel, and your thoughts going forward in your career?
That was quite flattering, to be honest. But as I said when I shared it, I'm still learning my trade. I'm still young. I'm nowhere near the martial artist I want to be to be at that level now. A few more fights down the line. I can confirm I have signed a contract with a big organisation, but I can't really speak too much about it. But that's all I can say.
We'll leave that one for next time then. Well, once again, sir, thanks very much for giving us your time today on the Martial Arts Chat podcast. If people want to get in touch, whether it's the Scottish Hit Squad or the bad guy himself, how the best to do that? Is it a Facebook, Instagram, Twitter? How are we hitting you up on social media?
Twitter, Instagram is at Cowa Vanguard. You're a laptop, you should follow me, because it's probably the best thing you've got to do all day.
That's it. Chris, the bad guy Vanguard, thanks again for your time. Best of luck come Saturday, sir.
John, thanks very much.
Thank you again to Chris for his time, and it's later been revealed that the piece of surprise news that Vanguard has now signed with the Bama promotion and will debut there on May the 14th at Bama 25. Congratulations and good luck to you, sir. Finally on the show, we get a chance to speak to Ontop's own James Lake, and he helps us break down this Saturday's card. Thank you so much for giving us your time today, sir.
No worries, thanks for having me, John.
Before we look ahead to some of the fights this weekend, I understand there's been a lot of changes and reshuffling prior to Saturday. What's that been like to deal with, James, and how have they worked themselves out now, sir?
Yeah, we had about 6 or 7 pull-outs due to injury. I think it just comes with the territory, really.
Yeah.
When you sort of have a promotion, try to sort of match fights up. But